next guest is a television personality and a host who is now making history as the first trans, non-binary person to host and executive produce a show on BET. Please welcome B. Scott.
I feel like we could be a group.
Get into my razzle dazzle. Yeah. Zoom in on these.
Love.
Took so many hours.
Those look so dope.
How many hours did it take?
4 hours.
Wow.
And I was like, I have to go get some sleep. So the real. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Perfect holiday nails for sure.
Beautiful.
And everyone's doing the sequence.
Oh,
yes.
Well, almost.
She was getting festive. She's getting festive over there. I see it in the fuchsia.
I said they coming. I gotta get ready for that.
Yes. Them and they right here.
Welcome to the show, finally. I can't believe this is our first time having you on.
Yes.
You moved to LA in 2005, and you were actually a real estate agent and a part-time model.
Yes.
How did you get into blogging?
Well, actually, I was already blogging. I started blogging in like 2002, 2003, just for fun. Like me and my best friend was blogging, and he got busy with medical school. And so I was like, no, I'm gonna keep blogging. And then at the same time, when I was modeling, I kept getting like, oh, you're too feminine. And if we wanted a girl, we'll hire a girl. And so I was like, no, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm gonna take my face, put it on my blog, and that's how lovebscott.com.
Okay.
And stunning as ever.
Thank
you.
A little Bob.
Okay. Yeah. We see you.
The B stands for Bob.
Yeah.
I love it. It looks so good.
As we mentioned, you're making history as the first trans, non-binary person to host and executive produce the BET show, 20s After Show with B. Scott. What does this mean to you? And congratulations.
Yeah.
It means so much because, I mean, it's a full circle moment. You know, I never thought that the place where we had a infamous dust-up would become the place where I would have my show that I'm hosting and executive producing. And for me to be the person that I didn't have growing up. I didn't have a B. Scott growing up. And so now I can be that person to show people that it's okay to be who you are. It's okay to identify however you choose and express yourself, however. And that's what it means to me. The first day of the show when I came out to do my monologue, it just kind of hit me when the camera kind of swooped out and came here and said, ooh. I said, ooh. Okay, I'm here.
It's happening.
It's real.
I was doing videos on YouTube when I first started, and I was like, one day, Love Muffins, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be somebody. I'm gonna have my own television show, and I have it.
And
but ironically, in 2013, you sued BET.
Ooh.
Let's talk about that. Let's go
about
back down memory lane. Because I remember it famously.
Yes. I was hosting the red carpet, and I guess, you know, I was too feminine for them. And I was really hurt by it.
They pulled you off the carpet.
Yes,
this was at the BET Awards.
It was live. It was live. I was interviewing AJ Calloway, and I felt someone tug me, and I was like, and I was in heels, so I was like, oh, wait a minute. And they removed from stage, and actually, Adrienne, you replaced me.
Yeah.
What did they tell you?
She replaced me on stage, and
what did they say when they pulled you? Did they say anything to you?
You had to go.
No.
Yeah. But did they tell you why in the moment?
No.
Because they didn't tell me why either.
Yeah.
So in that moment, from what I understand, like now talking about it, I'm so glad that you're here so that we can talk about this because these are conversations that need to be had.
Yes.
You probably lived with resentment that whole time, feeling like you got snatched off, and here I come running in with no clue. I literally remember we were actually presenting as the real.
Yes.
And I didn't have time to change clothes because at the last minute they came grabbing me and saying, we need you on air right now, and was never told why.
Yeah. And I resented you for a minute because I was just like, all I saw was like I was being removed, and then you popped up in my spot, and you know, it was just a moment of just shock. I was like, this was a moment for people to see me. This was a moment that I felt like if I do good here, everything would go as planned. But then I just thought to myself, you know, I didn't deserve this. I'm gonna keep pushing. I started focusing more on lovebscott.com and all the exclusives that we do. And I
followed you all along.
Yes, but that was only initially. But then I realized, you know, she probably didn't know what was going on.
Not a clue.
I barely knew what was going on until I got to my trailer and they told me that you need to pull your hair back, change your makeup.
Wow.
They had me looking like Nick Cannon. I was like, no offense to Nick Cannon, but that's not my vibe.
Yeah.
You know, I was
So what happened with the lawsuit?
We settled.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Well, I like
And
this
now you have this great opportunity on this
Right.
same platform.
Yes, and it came about. A lot of people ask me, B, why would you go back to the same network that you had the dust up with?
Yes.
And for me, I wanted to show the power of forgiveness. I
Right.
needed to let go of the resentment. I
Let 'em
needed
know.
to let
Right.
go of the hurt and the pain.
Right.
And also to be a part of the inclusion that I helped create.
Exactly.
So I can't sit over here and be a recluse and be so bitter that I
Exactly.
ain't coming out when it's time
Exactly.
to shine.
And you don't let them win.
Yeah,
Right.
You were a part
You're
of
doing
that. You were a part of them evolving,
Right.
and that's huge.
Yes.
And really quickly, when all of this unfolded,
Mm-hmm.
did you feel any pressure to retreat from the public eye?
I did for 8 years. Like at that time, I didn't really have the language or the verbiage to express what I was doing. When I first started doing YouTube videos, I was doing my hair, my makeup. I was just having a good time. So when the BET situation happened in 2013 and the lawsuit, all these labels started coming at me and people telling me, how I should describe myself or what I should be or what the proper terminology is. It's cumbersome even for me. And I just felt the pressure of all of that. And then a part of what people didn't know, it was like the BET Awards happened situation. Then my ex was murdered. Then my father died.
Oh.
So it was a number of things that
Yeah.
kind of, and I had to just kind of be like, okay, let me just retreat. It's hard to be vivacious and the person that
Right.
everybody wants to be when you are alone dealing with such trauma.
So much.
And I think we forget that everybody goes through
Yeah.
real life issues.
Yeah.
And
And I said I wasn't gonna get emotional, but it's just,
That's
ooh.
no,
That's a lot to go.
this is your story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about your show, 20s After Show with B. Scott.
The show is basically a good time. I have guests from the 20s, of course, and then I have all of my good friends and celebrities stop by. We play games. We obviously show clips from the 20s, and it's a place to talk about the importance of inclusivity and the ins and outs of the terminology and the situations that may happen.
We need this.
Yes, absolutely. And BET needs it.
Yes.
So, I just feel so honored and so grateful to Scott Mills and to Lena Waithe for making it happen.
Yeah.
Lena, I never had a clique or a group of people that I felt supported me until Lena Waithe
Yeah.
and Hillman Grad.
And she
And-
supports everybody because she supports me too. Thank you, Lena.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had Lena on the show, and
Yes.
she spoke so highly of you.
Yeah, she pays it forward. Like she's just a person that, is really inspiring to me and allows me to understand how I need to do and be in this whole situation again.
Amazing.
All right. I'm so happy
I
for
love
you.
it.
Thank you.
Well, we have a clip from your show, so
Oh.
let's
Yes,
take a look.
let's look.
I was talking about how if you're going through a rough time, to know that life does get better. It does get better.
Yes.
And I'm a living testament to that.
Appreciate it.
And to be that person now for someone, it was so touching to me. And you were allowing me to have that moment. And so I want to say thank you, honestly, from the bottom of my heart.
I love you, and I want to say thank you.
Okay. That's me. We were caught up in some laughter
We over here
before.
talking.
We over here chit-chatting and laughing.
Yes.
Okay, like we were saying, we have to give it up to you because you really have helped usher in the start of conversations about inclusivity and representation of the LGBTQ plus community. So how do you feel about being such a huge part of these changes?
It's an honor because I, by being who I am, allow people to be who they are and to understand that we're on a spectrum. And that spectrum can present itself so differently depending upon where you are. And I stand for, you don't have to be like me.
Yeah.
Right.
Or you don't have to be like anyone else on the stage,
Right.
but you do have to be who you are. And
Right.
that's what that
Ooh,
means for me. I've
that's a word.
always stand and stood for that.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
whatever your expression is, there's room enough for you. There is space. Like people need to understand that and feel safe to feel like they can hold space.
That's right.
That you have a right to exist.
Yes.
That's right. Well, I have a
Yes.
question, and then I have a B. Scott story to share.
Oh.
All right, you don't know what
Well,
it
you
is.
gonna drop some tea on me?
Yes.
Some tea on B. Scott.
Not reverse tea.
You've pioneered a new wave of bloggers and
Yes.
content creators to be unapologetically themselves, which
Yes.
we love. What do you think of the current climate of social creators?
I think when creators are tapping into their originality, I think is a beautiful, amazing thing. Sometimes, as being one of the first celebrity bloggers, and before I was doing videos and posts and things before there was even a term that was called viral. You know what I mean? That's always like so far
Yeah.
back in the day. I remember I first started, it was a blog spot. and forms.
Right.
And so I think that when they tap into originality, that's great. But I sometimes look at things and I feel like everything you see there's no originality.
Right.
So I would encourage people to tap into what makes you unique, what sets you apart from everyone else. So you see a lot of people that are on Instagram where it's like everyone's looking alike.
Yes.
But you get caught up in the mix if you're looking like everyone else. Stand out, be yourself, stand in your truth.
That's right. Well, I just wanted to share this, and B has no idea I'm going to share this story, but one of the things that I've always loved and appreciated about you is as a public figure, as a reality star, like we kind of like don't like bloggers.
Yeah, you're like news entertainment blogs.
Okay? You guys are not our friends usually, and I remember you called me to interview me. And at the time, I had a lot going on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I was having some conflict with some of my cast members, and I was very nervous. I think this was the first time you met my now husband, Mike. Mike came with me, I was like, whatever. But what I remember is, first of all, it was just very classy, you guys, okay? Did we have Dom Perignon?
We had Dom Perignon.
SLS Hotel,
Yeah.
and you made me very comfortable, and we had a real conversation. I was very transparent, which is what I like to be, and I remember saying something that I felt a little uncomfortable saying after I left, and I remember calling you after, and I said, I stand in my truth. It is what it is. I really enjoyed talking to you, but I just didn't really I knew what I said was going to end up being clickbait, which would be great for you because everybody's going to look and eyeballs would be on it.
This speaks to your
But I had that
character.
conversation with you, and I asked you not to put that in there, and you did not put it in there. And when I tell you...
And it was the juiciest part.
Listen, it was the best part of the whole interview.
Yeah.
It was the best. And you
took it out.
Honored me with that.
Why did
and
you do
this
that?
is why I applaud you for being where you are now, because you had so much class and integrity.
You
in
could
that
have
situation.
taken that.
I could have.
Oh,
and
100%.
Yeah.
It was juicy.
Created all the smoke.
It was juicy, child.
I didn't because, I believe in my business and running my business with integrity. I do. I mean, I know it sounds, I think the term blogging has taken a turn depending upon what's your source of information. Right. But I've always tried to just tell the information without being malicious.
That's what we said.
That
We
part,
said he has
Without
a
being
news
nasty.
entertainment blog that both Lonnie and I follow and we love.
Right.
And what we love about it is you just give us the news. You give us the facts. You're not adding to it. You're not...
There's no need for
not
that.
me.
Yeah, and also because, I like you and you respect me and I respect you. And I will say that, typically, sometimes it doesn't work that way.
Right.
If the person does certain things,
Right.
you know
Right.
No,
No,
who.
I get it. I get it. Of course.
And I will not pay them that courtesy. But if we are friends, I will give you that courtesy. And just like I did when you were leaving the show.
You did.
I hit you up and said, I heard
did.
you were leaving the show. and
Absolutely.
how would you like to handle it?
Exactly.
There you go.
100%.
Well, I would like to know, since you dominate the game with exclusive content, do you have any tea to spill?
Some exclusives.
I couldn't come to the real without no tea.
Do tell.
Yes,
What that
tea
would be.
time.
So I have a little backstory. Andy came to the show and he was talking about the Housewives of Atlanta, and he said that the new season was great, and he didn't tell you why it was great. And so I have some of the information as to why it's great.
Okay.
Why?
Yes, just a little recap. I was the one that exclusively said that Portia was not returning to the show.
Okay.
I was the one that said that Cynthia was most likely came from my love for you.
Yours truly.
Not coming to the show. I also said that Sheree was returning to the show.
Yes.
I also said that Marlo would be the first, for the first time ever, holding a
Peach
peach.
holder.
Yes.
Yes, and I also mentioned the new housewife, which was Sanya, I think it's her name, Sonya Richards Ross.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, and so the new
Olympian.
tea today is that I know that some new ladies have been taping and filming with the Housewives of Atlanta.
Okay.
Some new ladies that are not
Yes, that
Sonya.
has not. Yes. And one of which is, drum roll, Angela Simmons.
What?
Yes, Angela Simmons has been taping, and the network loves her, but she's under contract with someone else. So we may not see her on the show. We will see her a little bit on the show.
But she won't be holding a peach
She
just
will
yet.
not
Okay.
just yet until she figures out her prior commitments.
Oh, because she was with VH1, right?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Well, with, I'm not going to
it's
say
the
network.
She
Oh,
said,
I love it. That is some good
Okay, let
tea.
me stop.
It's like that, and then also, I'm not done yet.
do give us the scoop.
And the other lady is Manetta Shaw. So,
Oh, yes.
yes,
I
Neo's
love Manetta.
ex-fiance that has two children with Neo.
Yes.
She is
my gosh,
also
yes.
really good friends with
Monietta.
Candy.
I know who
Exactly.
Monietta is.
Exactly.
Yes.
I love Mo.
Yes, she's
Exactly.
great.
And so they're still trying to, fill the void of you know, Portia
Wow.
and Cynthia and all that. And
Do
so
you think they'll be able to fill the void?
I don't know if they're going to be able to fill the void. I also think that Monyetta joining the show so late in the season and in terms of taping, I think that's going to limit her capacity. But I do know the network loves both of the ladies.
Oh, that's great.
That is
Yes.
great.
And also, Angela is good friends with the new housewife, Sanya.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Look at you.
Yeah, they were like
Coming
BFFs.
through. Okay.
And they had like some type of like beauty line together at some point that they launched.
Really?
Oh,
Google
okay.
it. All the other exclusive information for lovebscott.com.
Let them know. Let them know. Let them know.
I love it. B. Scott, thank you,
This
thank you,
ring
thank
ting
you
tingling.
so much for stopping by and hanging out with us today. Now, be sure to check out 20s After Show with B. Scott Wednesday nights on BET